Now, how do we prevent kickback? Kickback usually occurs when cutting the end grain or cutting against the grain and the bit catches. The first way to prevent this is to use a good bit.
Sharp bits are much less likely to catch than dull bits. Spiral bits are much less likely to catch than straight bits. And larger shank bits are less likely to deflect than thinner bits, which can sometimes lead to kickback.
However, when large bits catch, they also have more momentum, so the kickback is more violent. If your router has a speed knob, make sure you turn the speed down for larger bits. This not only keeps you safer, but also helps keep the bits from overheating so they stay sharper longer. The second way to prevent kickback is to make your cuts appropriately.
Make smaller cuts. If kickback is likely in an area, make multiple smaller passes to work up to your final depth. As a general rule of thumb, you should never cut deeper than the diameter of your bit in a single pass. Remove as much extra material as possible first, especially when template routing. It is always a good idea to use a bandsaw to cut as close to the template as possible first, so your bit has to do less work.
Pay attention to grain direction and use extra care when cutting end grain or figured woods. Whenever possible, start and stop your cuts on long grain so you transition into the end grain in a controlled cut. When needed, try climb cutting instead in order to take advantage of a different cut direction. Just use extra caution when doing this, especially on a router table.
Finally, consider using a fence or a guide pin. Having an additional point of contact, like a fence or a guide pin, allows you to guide the piece to your bit in a more controlled manner and gives you additional support against kickback.
Just be careful with how you use them so that you never pin a piece between the bit and the fence or pin.